has been a journalist, beginning in 1988 as a reporter with the African Concord. From the African Concord, he was redeployed to the Weekend Concord, where he rose to become a line editor. At the same time, he wrote prolifically, in all the Concord titles, and became very famous, for his writings. He later left Weekend Concord and went to Classic magazine, where he worked with May Ellen Ezekiel. I think before then, he had done quite a number of things. He used to be a hotel manager, one motel in Ife, owned by Chief by Obashijuwade at that time. Motel Royal, that's the name of the hotel. At another point, he was private secretary in the Second Republic to Chief Akin Omoburi, a Second Republic politician. And then he also went to teach briefly at the Oyo State School of Arts and Sciences. So, there are many people who remember him as their teacher. And then in between, when he was in Lagos, I think he sold bread. He was hawking bread. Chief Bashoru M.K. Abiola had this bakery called Wonder Loaf. So Bob D at that time used to carry loads of bread in the boot of his car, in practical, Onokon Woja fashion. One road, many roads lead to the market. In between, he was also a PR consultant, celebrities' goodwill, which he was managing. But then, of course, what most people know today.
Thank you, Ruben. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the inaugural Dele Momodu Leadership Lecture on the occasion of my 64th birthday. You may be wondering, why is he starting a lecture series? The reason is not far-fetched. The clock is ticking, and by the grace of God, on my next birthday, I will be 65, and will undoubtedly qualify to be an elder statesman. In my moment of soliloquy, I asked, what next? I'm sure I have written over 1,000 articles, spoken endlessly on radio and television, but not much has changed for my greatly endowed country, Nigeria, and its long-suffering people. My verdict was that criticism alone cannot do the job. I decided to use my God-given wealth of influence and confidence to reach out to our leaders, technocrats, and my fellow citizens in general. So the next phase of my struggle would be to encourage some dialogue and conversations. I'm someone who follows his thoughts with action. So I immediately came up with the idea of a national and international lecture. And this is the first of its series. So my first move was to think up a topic. That was quite easy. My country is riddled with all manner of debilitating challenges, of complaining and lamenting like the biblical Jeremiah. So I decided to do something. Why can't we end this endless energy crisis? You're welcome, Your Excellency, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State and former presidential candidate. Thank you so much for coming. So after picking the topic, I had to find the lecturer. who must be well grounded in the subject matter. I thought of no other than my dear brother, Professor Bartholomew Nnaji, who is seated here today. His intimidating resume speaks for itself. Please help me welcome the former president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and let me celebrate my friend and brother, Dele Momodu, and to congratulate him on this initiative and thank him for inviting me to join you. There's so many distinguished citizens here, and in order that I don't fall into the danger of not acknowledging anybody, let me proceed on the protocols that have been established, and to thank you all very much. Let me also apologize for my late arrival. We had a problem with the rainstorm that suddenly broke when we were about to set off, and I'm happy that finally we arrived. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be here today to chair the inaugural Dele Momodu Leadership Lecture, the theme of which is the politics of energy and the way forward. Because despite Africa's tremendous energy resources such as hydro, wind, solar, and hydrocarbon potential, the continent continues to suffer from a severe energy deficit that undermines equitable economic growth and development. As you may be aware, the African continent is home to about 17.89% of the world's population, and it has about 600 million of its people without access to electricity, with a staggering 98% in sub-Saharan Africa and another 940 million people lacking access to clean cooking fuels and technologies. This calls for bold and decisive policies by continental leaders and pooling resources together if the continent is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal number 7, which aims to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy by the year 2030. Today, our world is at a crossroads of what has become known as the energy trilemma. That is sustainability in the path of transitioning to renewable energy, primarily because of the factor of climate change, and partly due to global geopolitical tensions. As a result, most sub-Saharan African countries are at the high risk of having stranded assets in petroleum reserves and infrastructure. Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa must address the critical question about which energy pathway we intend to adopt. Are we to take a path of a wholesale transition by capping our oil and gas wells, or must we adopt a customized energy transition that prioritizes climate justice, wealth creation, and inclusive growth? This is a critical question we need to answer. And sub-Saharan Africa, especially West African sub-region, is looking up to our big brother Nigeria. Although the Akosombo and Pond dams were designed to provide adequate electricity generation into the foreseeable future, Ghana suffered its first power crisis in 1984, following a severe drought, disrupting the generational capacity of the 2 hydro dams. The government of Ghana initiated various policy measures to ensure that the country derives maximum benefits from its newly discovered oil and gas resources by ushering in what we called the gas to power era. This was evidence in the establishment of the Ghana National Gas Development Task Force to review and propose approaches to ensure full utilization of the country's gas resources through a gas commercialization project in 2009. Finally, the energy sector is the foundation for economic growth. Nigeria must take the leadership mantle to build a regional consensus that will provide a more promising future for Africa. African leaders must define their energy transition modalities and choose the most equitable, just transition. Nigeria has what it takes to lead the path for sub-Saharan Africa to advance our collective energy agenda.
The chairman of the occasion and our dear president, my own, Your Excellencies, let me stand on all due and existing protocols. Well, mine is a very simple one. First is to say big congratulations on your birthday, Dele Momodu, and thank you for what you did here, because until you said it, when we came in here, we were wondering what happened to this place. It's unfortunate that you have to be the one to change this place rather than Nigeria. So thank you very much for that contribution. He's the one who changed the carpet and everything. That's how Nigeria works, lack of maintenance. So it's important that it's noted. And thank you for showing that we need to maintain a place. Because, like you said, you shouldn't have been the one doing it. We must learn to maintain before we build a new one. We should stop doing new one until we finish the existing ones. Number two, I thank the guest lecturer for what you did, what you said. Thank you. When the president of Ghana said they're generating and distributing 5,000 megawatts, I was wondering, Ghana with 1/7 of our population probably generates and distributes more than us. I was doing the calculation and we're discussing with Governor Duke. We must declare emergency in power. And the way to go is very simple. Embedded power and insist on gas supply. We have gas. We have it all over the place. I do not think, yes, we need the dollars, but I think making Nigeria more productive and pulling our people out of poverty, especially in the north, will give us far more value and dollars than focusing on exports. I think it's time to declare emergency. Geometric has shown it in Aba that embedded power will help us in that emergency. We should encourage it all over Nigeria. Thank you.
Our royal fathers here present, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. To say that the importance of electricity cannot be overemphasized. And that was why when I was governor in Kano, I selected 2 out of 23 earth dams that we have in Kano and installed some equipment, and I'm happy to say that we were able to set up the power generation in Kano on Chalawa Gorge and Tiga dams, producing or potentially to produce 35 megawatts. We completed the job in 2015, and I'm happy to say that I left $43 million in our account for the incoming governor to do the distribution. Of course, not much was being done, but I'm sure our governor now, Abba Kabir Yusuf, will complete. You are laughing as if you knew that we couldn't find the 43 million naira when we came back. So Governor Adeleke should look at, and all other governors for that matter, should look at the possibility of generating power, because it's not a matter of only federal government alone. We have to put all our heads and hands together to ensure that there is adequate and, of course, enough electricity in this country.
Dele, congratulations, Roy. Congratulations on your birthday. Let me share a story with us, and you can contextualize it as you may. In 1985, I was a young intern in a law firm in Washington, D.C. called Baker and Hostetler. My immediate boss, the late Mrs. Betty Murphy, was Secretary of Labor under Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. And one afternoon, she invited me to her office, and in a rebuking manner asked me a question: what is wrong with Nigeria? I was barely 23 years old, so I didn't understand what she talked about, but I just felt that everything was wrong with Nigeria at the time. She said she had just come back from the White House. You think of it, for over 40 years, we were flaring, burning 25 million liters of diesel, talking about in the abundance of water. The fool is thirsty. Thank you.
A lot of critical thinking about what the way forward is, and so I want to commend you very much. And I want to commend Dr. Peter Obi, Kwakwaso, Alaji Kwakwaso, and all the others who commented after, because your comments have enriched the paper that we just listened to. Dele and I come a long way back, and he was hounded out of Nigeria because of his political views, and he came and sought exile in Ghana. And so Nigeria's loss was Ghana's gain, because you lost a very intelligent and good son, and we gained, a very loyal brother.
The celebrant of today, our dear brother, I think I see you more as Nigerian than even Ghanaian. The elders that are here, the political leaders of their country, at least I've seen two here, the Kakwansia movement and our amiable tsunami from Labour Party. Please give all of them a resounding round of applause. I even noticed something about the Kakwansia movement. Their logo, the red and white, I looked through his shoe today. I saw that it's actually indeed red and white. But I looked around. Maybe it's distinguished Senator Tokumbo Afikuyomi, part of APC. That's his hair. But I'm very happy that this hall is indeed all-party affair of their country. Our nation is way bigger than any one of us, way bigger than any political party or anything that has to do with party affiliation. The day we all sit down to talk about our interest commonly as a nation, other than our selfish interests as individuals, things will be better for their country.
I'm here to just say happy birthday to my boss. He brought me into journalism, and since that time we've been close. I'm talking about almost 30 years ago. Bob D personifies what we can call genuine afenifere. He's a man who wants everybody to be happy, and he's a man who wants to put smiles on as many people's faces as possible. God bless him. Long live Dele Momodu. Long live Bobudo.
Dele Momodu is a friend of many years. We've been friends almost forever, for more than 35 years. I remember the day Dele Momodu was getting married. He came to see me on that same day when I was the head of presentation and presenter on OGTV. His wife, Balaji, amazing woman, awesome woman who has stood by him all these years. And his entire family, they are my family. So I congratulate Dele Momodu. He is committed, he is passionate, he is resilient, because so many things show that his resilience is what keeps him going. Another story, just very quickly, is the fact that when he was starting Ovation in London, I can boast that I was one of his vendors. I moved around London with the newspaper. At that time, I was a project manager working in one of the big companies in London. But all of us, myself, Dayo, Lomo, and so many of our friends, we all rallied round Dele Momodu because he's the kind of friend that will rally around his friends. And that's what you've seen at this birthday ceremony, where so many people came from Ghana and other parts of the world just to come and celebrate this man, that whatever you do, like Auntie Bimbo Oloyede said, Dele Momodu will support you. So he deserves the support of everybody who call themselves his friends. So congratulations, Dele Momodu. Bob D, the Akirogo, I celebrate him. He's my brother.
I just want to say happy birthday to my father. He has put this together on very short notice, and I've seen the excitement in his eyes since this lecture came together. So very excited to have everyone here today and to celebrate his birthday with us. Thank you.
Happy birthday to the greatest man I know.
Happy birthday, Dad, from your son, Peko Momodu.
Here's wishing my darling husband, Dele Ayobami Dele Ojutelego, a happy birthday. Wish you all the good things you wish yourself. God's blessings, God's favor, God's grace. I pray they are multiplied in your life, and I pray God will grant you long and fruitful life to enjoy the many blessings He has bestowed upon you. Happy birthday, Ajani. Love you as always. God bless you.
Here to wish Bobby, a doyen of the media industry in Nigeria and Africa, globally, a very happy birthday. And beautiful lecture as well. Brilliant. It was really nice. I had fun and learned a lot as well. Very great day. Very great day. Thank you.
And I wish Chief Dele Momodu a very happy birthday. He's a very amiable, empathic human being. And may the Lord that has brought him this far continue to uphold him with his right hand of righteousness. It shall continually be well with him all the days of his life. Congrats, Chief Dele Momodu. God bless you.
And I'm wishing my mentor, Mr. Dele Momodu, Bob D, a happy birthday, and I continue to wish him more blessings. He's been an inspiration to a lot of people, and I pray that God will continue to sustain him and bless him, and all the seed that he has sowed, he will reap it a hundredfold. Happy birthday, Egbon.
I'm pleased to wish Ààrẹ Bashorun Dele Momodu a happy 64th birthday. He's been my big brother for a very long time. I knew him decades ago. We went to Ife together and we've been together. Some of his best friends are my best friends too. So Emi Agun, brother, Emma Adagba, Edema Darugo, Lagbara Olong, Amen.
Yesterday, Mr. Peter Obi, everybody that came made an effort. They were determined not to miss it. And I do not know how I can find words. Though I'm supposed to be a wordsmith, I cannot find enough words to appreciate them.
Happy birthday, Dele. I'm so happy to be here. This is a wonderful initiative, and I'm sure that it's going to keep going. I trust you. I know that once you start something, you keep on going with it until it gets to its expected end. So happy birthday, and God bless you.